So in the last video, we got some PBR rendering working, and it looks quite good. We've got it receiving shadows, however, we don't have it actually casting shadows. So luckily, this is a super easy fix. If I just go to Visual Studio here, what I can do is I can minimize this entire pass. Everything we've been working on here, we can minimize that. What we're going to do is we're going to add another pass. Now, passes are ran at different points in the render pipeline. Generally, Unity does not support multi-pass rendering. You can use alternate passes, or a specific stage of rendering can use a specific pass, but you can't run multiple passes through the same stage. So that is one thing that other engines do have that Unity doesn't. I believe it's on the roadmap, but multi-pass rendering is not supported for the time being. However, there are alternate passes that are used by default by the pipeline. If we go to the lit material, one of them here is called Shadowcaster. You'll see it has this tag here, light mode equals Shadowcaster. A light mode is a setting that the renderer can set in its drawing settings. So basically, if we take each step in the render pipeline, there's going to be a step that is calculating these shadows, and that step is going to look for any shaders in the scene that have a light mode with the tag Shadowcaster. And it's going to use, it's going to Z-write, so that way it writes to the depth buffer and it blocks out everything behind it. It's going to have Z-testing, and it has a color mask of 0. So this writes to the R channel. This is a super simple one. And luckily, if you're just doing basic shadow casting and you're leveraging Unity stuff, you can just take this, copy it, and paste it into our shader here. So now we have the Shadowcaster pass. If I save this and I go to Unity, you'll see now there's a shadow. That's all there is to actually adding shadows to stuff. There is a bunch of other passes. There is gbuffer. There's also depth only, so this is for writing to the depth texture. The object will still write to the depth texture anyways if you have Z writing on. This is if for some reason you have a pass where you need to get only the depth texture and you want to have it all execute at the same time rather than going through, if you have transparents also writing to the depth texture, it'll have to wait for transparents to finish before it can be retrieved. Or you can tell it to do a depth pre-pass. In this depth only stage, it will write everything that can to the depth buffer and then read it from there. There's also depth normals, which is a combination of the normal texture and the depth texture together, where it shows all the normals in world space as colors, and then it gets darker the further away it is. There is meta. This is for light map baking. Luckily, Unity gives some explanations for everything there. 2D for 2D lighting. This isn't used at all in what we're working on. Motion vectors and XR motion vectors. These can mostly be ignored. I've never worked with either of them, but I'm sure they do have some useful points. I just have not gotten to the point where I've touched either. But really, the Shadowcaster pass is probably the one you'd want to add to your shader. And if you wanted it to say only cast shadows in certain situations, well, you can have it set to be, you still have to set the mesh to cast shadows. So if I go back to our sphere here and I turn this off, even though the material has the Shadowcaster pass, it's still checking that the mesh renderer allows shadow casting. So you can still control it. For most things, if it's not a transparent, it's going to cast a shadow. So just keep that in mind. So if you want to see more on alternate passes and light modes and how to actually use them to change what the player sees to, say, have like an X-ray effect, check out my Metroid Prime Visors in Unity series. I go through making a X-ray vision, thermal vision, as well as just a couple custom ones, one where you can see quote-unquote sound. I have a bunch of different effects there. So watch that series if you're interested in trying to change what the player can actually see, because that will require writing a scriptable render feature. By default in Unity, the passes are controlled by the render pipeline and you don't really touch them much. But if you want to touch them, you need to write a scriptable render feature. So that's it for this. In the last video in this series, I'm just going to show a quick little video on how to do some animation.